There have been endless variations of vampire movies since the beginning of cinema. One distinctive interpretation is in a trio of Japanese films directed by Michio Yamamoto and co-written by Ei Qgawa. Known as Bloodthirsty or the Bloodthirsty Trio, they were filmed at Toho Studios in the early 70s and offered an interesting East meets West take on the eternal bloodsucker. The Vampire Doll, or The Bloodthirsty Doll from 1970, Lake of Dracula, or Bloodthirsty Eyes, made in 1971, and Evil of Dracula, or The Bloodthirsty Rose, from 1974. They're all fascinating in the way they take place in dramatically different surroundings and situations, while also having many similarities that make them a cohesive trilogy. All three have striking, spare soundtracks, an eerie, isolated atmosphere, and plenty of pale-skinned ladies in flowing nightgowns. At first, Vampire Doll seems like a familiar old dark house tale, but it takes some fascinating turns. Kazuhiko, who's been working abroad for months, travels through a stormy night to reunite with his fiancée Yuko. But when he gets to her home, he's met with hostility. And the news that Yuko has died. When he sees Yuko through his window and investigates, she seems to be alive. But he soon is not. Kazuhiko's sister Keiko has a bad feeling about her brother. He usually checks in when he's out of town. So she convinces her fiancé Hiroshi to take her to the house. What follows is a mix of horror and detective work. The pair wander around the spooky house with its ghostly moans at night and learn horrifying local secrets during the day. A moody harpsichord soundtrack and lots of ghostly scenes with Yuko create a great eerie atmosphere. While Keiko is the strongest heroine of the trilogy, smart, intuitive, and willing to face horrifying supernatural forces. The Lake of Dracula has an unusually serene setting for a vampire flick. But as any horror fan knows, a cozy cabin with a cheerful yellow kitchen next to a gorgeous lake with a rambunctious dog on hand can easily turn sinister. Akiko is a teacher and artist who lives a simple life on Lake Fujimi, though she's haunted by what she believes is a horrific dream she had as a child. Those images that stay in her mind of a ghostly female in a white gown and a monstrous, blood-stained vampire are real, though. She soon understands this when the arrival of a mysterious delivery brings a pale stranger who is fascinated by her and the art she has created based on her childhood memory. Akiko is close to her fiancé Takashi, who is a doctor, and her younger sister Natsuko, who appears to view her older sibling life with good-spirited jealousy. The trauma of Akiko's past affects them all in different ways as this dangerous stranger plagues the quiet community. Even in public places, in the light of day, Akiko is haunted, and Takashi puzzles over the blood-drained woman in his care. Natsuko soon finds herself lured into the drama as well. The vampire who stalks Akiko is handsome, but not romantic or charming. He's portrayed as a brutal, growling monster. That he invades such a peaceful place makes his assault all the more horrifying. Evil of Dracula is set in a boarding school for teenage girls. Professor Shiraki has been hired to teach in this isolated educational institution. Upon arrival, he learns that the principal's wife has recently died in an accident. He finds the principal unbothered by his loss, but oddly eager to promote the unqualified teacher to replace him as principal. Shiraki spends his first night in the principal's home and comes under attack by a ghostly woman and what appears to be the principal's wife. The next day, his young students flirt with him, but are also clear that there is something sinister happening at the school. Another student falls victim to the evil. When Shiraki learns that a student is missing, he's alarmed by how blasé the staff seems to be about the absence. He begins to investigate on his own and realizes the mysterious ghoul girl he saw that first night is the missing student. And he begins to understand that more girls are falling prey to the mysterious force. This is one of the most ghoulish entries in the series. Its use of gore and soul-searing sound in the final scenes is both subtle and deeply disturbing. While the Bloodthirsty Trilogy is reminiscent of many other vampire films, these movies have their own flair. And they're great, eerie fun.